Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the shop. This week's video, a little different, not necessarily a project video. Few projects throughout the week, bunch of odds and ends around the shop, some shop improvements. Let's get into it. All right, so this was one of those weeks where we just kind of had a bunch of odds and ends to take care of in the shop and with different projects. We got this vanity finished up. If you guys remember this build video from just a couple weeks ago, we got that desk built in, delivered, and Greg going on the install on that one. And then I had a bunch of meetings and stuff this week. We are in design phase and we're really close on two large projects, full house packs of cabinets. That drawing should be signed off on any day now. So we are going to be getting into those next week. Those bigger jobs, just the design phase takes time. And so yeah, this was one of those weeks where we took care of some odds and ends and then got these little jobs finished up. And then we had a couple days, Thursday and Friday, kind of down days. So we took advantage of those and we got some stuff down around the shop. Some improvements that I've been wanting to do for a while and we finally had some free time to do them. So yeah, let's get into it and we'll show you guys what we did this week. And so Monday morning we started out with delivering this oak desk built-in thing that we built last week. But you guys hopefully watched that build video. So yeah, we loaded up the trailer. It's nice right outside this door. We have a little loading dock and the trailer literally backs right up onto it like perfectly. And then when Greg got going on install, one of the shelves got damaged a little bit. And so rather than trying to fix that and having it not look great, I had one rip left of this quarter sawn white oak ply. It was just enough to just make another one. So I decided to just make another one. And so this kind of stuff happens, you know, things get damaged sometimes and need to be fixed. So luckily I had that rip and I was able to knock one out real quick. I did use hardwood for the nosing on this one because I didn't have any more plywood to use for that front 2-inch piece. So these get miter wrapped all around and they go on one side, they go into the wall, the other side is open. So we cut the miters on the end over on the slider and then I bring them over to the other table saw and cut the miters on the edges and then we miter both edges of the front pieces. And then when you make the second pass on these, there's only like a little bit left in the middle. These were 2-inch thick, so just kind of got to be careful when you get to the end there. And then I forgot to record it, gluing it up. But you can see the shelf right there glued up. So this was Tuesday morning. This is how me and Rowdy typically start the day, with little 15-minute meeting. We go over our to-do list and stuff like that, make sure we're on the same page, talk about things that need to get done for the day or whatever. And it's just kind of a nice way to start the day. And so then I ran over to the job site where Greg was installing, and I started to put some of the drawers in. I didn't have the slides until Monday afternoon, so I went over there to put the drawers in and install the drawer fronts, and also to help Greg with the countertops. The countertops are big and heavy, and to bring these things in and out by yourself would be kind of a pain in the butt. And this job is not done. So here he's got it laid on there and taped so he can scribe it. But it's not done. I will go back there this week and film some content of the finished. There's just a couple of small little details that need to get dialed in, and then we'll do some finished shots of the space. But that one came out really nice, scribed nice and tight to the wall. And then this one, he gets in scribed really good too. Greg is a really good carpenter, really good installer. Whenever he's available, I do like to use him for my installs.
if he's not available. You guys know I do installs myself as well. And then the client picked out her hardware for the doors and the drawer fronts, and these are them. And so we decided, instead of just screwing that thing to the face, to bring it back and make a jig and route these into the fronts. So I brought everything back to the shop with me just so I could do it there. It's just easier. And I make a little jig, just putting it together with some CA glue. And the tricky thing with these are where every pull, the corners on them were not the same. They were all a little different on the corners. They were not. So with my router bit, I end up with that little 1/2-inch radius in the corner, and these were all less than a 1/2-inch radius. So you'll see what I do to get them dialed in. And you see I screwed that piece on the bottom side of the jig, and that just gives me perfect spacing, so my groove that I route will be perfectly parallel in the center of my drawer front. No room for error with these things. With everything being stained and finished already, yeah, you get one shot at these. So there you can see it. And these pulls, they look like brass, but they're not really brass. I think they were just aluminum, honestly. They were not super high quality pulls. And so, I don't know if they were like spray painted that color or what. They look nice though. So yeah, I go through, get everything routed, and then I take the pulls over to my little edge sander, and we kind of custom fit each one to the opening. And so this little disc sander, edge sander thing, it's obviously a Harbor Freight machine, and this is Rowdy's, and he had it and brought it in. So it's been in the shop for like a week, and I've used this thing so many times. So I think I've wanted to get like a big edge sander for a while, and after having this in the shop, now I feel like I kind of need to get one. I feel like it will come in useful. So yeah, got those things fit in there really nice. And then just use a Vicks bit, make sure that screw hole or pilot hole is perfectly centered so the screws sit in there nice.
So keeping with the theme of this week's video and showing you guys kind of behind the scenes of what a typical work week looks like, believe it or not, I spend a lot of hours throughout the week right here at my desk, whether it's sending emails back and forth with clients and going over drawings, or editing YouTube videos and Instagram reels and posting content. We have a podcast that we're working on now. So a lot of hours get spent right here. And this is a perfect opportunity to talk about the sponsor of this week's video, which is Skillshare. So recently, I have been taking some classes on Skillshare for my video editing because I want to get better and I want my videos to be better. And I'm sure you guys want my editing skills to get better as well. Some of you remind me often that I need to work on it. So I'm working on it. And with Skillshare, there's tons of videos on it, and it just makes it really easy and enjoyable to learn. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and much more. Skillshare can help take your career, skills, hobbies, passions, or side hustles to the next level. Skillshare offers multiple categories of classes, including film, illustration, animation, design, entrepreneurship, video editing, voiceovers, podcasting, even woodworking classes are available on Skillshare. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. What's up? So, Wednesdays are, Rowdy doesn't typically work Wednesdays. He's working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So Wednesdays are my day to, on a week like this, where we're kind of in between things, to just get random things done, right, that I need to do. So this morning I was out running around town, had a couple meetings, had a meeting with the designer going over some revisions for the next big project. And then, yeah, odds and ends kind of day. Unless, once we get into these big projects within the next couple weeks, it's going to be, I'll be in here obviously working on Wednesdays, but Wednesday is usually my day to get all the random little things done. So that's what I'm doing. This box I got, it's all that flexible airline. So I'm going to set up my big compressor in the spray room, and we're going to run some air lines to do the clamping rack system and everything else that we're going to do. And we're going to have some airline drops around the shop, which will be nice. Other than that, I'm going to get this Rowdy got this Vanity all finished, everything sprayed. So I'm gonna get it all assembled. Snap this onto the box, put it all together, and then yeah, it'll be ready for delivery. We probably won't be installing this for another week or two. They're just waiting to finish, to get that bathroom finished up and ready for us.
So days or weeks like this where you're just kind of doing a bunch of random stuff are not typically my favorite. It's been weird the last 2 months probably where we've had a bunch of like small little jobs. I'm really looking forward to getting into a couple of these bigger projects that we have coming up. It's fun just to know like every day when you get in the shop there's just tons of stuff to do, and you can just kind of get after it and get lost in these bigger jobs. And so, yeah, you guys already know, snapping this on with some Lamello tensos and glue. The tensos are just clamps until the glue dries. If you're interested in a Lamello, my email is in the description below. Send me a message. I'll hook you up with a sales rep, and yeah, they'll get you hooked up. If you have questions for me, let me know. It is an amazing machine and will totally change the way that you do things. Yeah. And so then I can just kind of put everything together. I get a lot of questions about the hinges that I use. These are Bloom this is an inset cabinet, so these are full inset hinges. The inside of my face frame is flush with the inside of my box. So I use a 0 millimeter plate with a full inset hinge, and yeah, they work good. Bloom they are my favorite hinges. I've just been using them for so long that I'm so used to the adjustments and everything like that. I really like them. And then to install the drawer slides, I just cut a piece of plywood as a spacer, and then yeah, set the drawer slide on it, pre-drill my holes, and screw them in. And they are fitting nice. So my drawer supplier is a local shop. All she does is make drawer boxes, and she does a really nice job. Dovetail drawer boxes is the one thing that we don't do. I outsource, just not set up to do it. And for the price and the quality that I get from this local shop, just doesn't make much sense to make them myself. Can't do it all. I shouldn't say that's the only thing we outsource, because I do outsource my drawings too. Matt Moore, he does my drawings for me. All right, so sometimes I use the 1/4-inch dowel centers to get my drawer fronts on. In this case, I just pre-drilled some holes and drilled the screws in, so the screws stuck out a little bit. Put my drawer front on the spacers, press it against the screws, and then I could pre-drill the hole in the back of the drawer front and then just screw it on. And then they come pretty much perfect in the opening doing it like that, and then you have adjustment in the locking device, up, down, side to side, and in and out. and then that thing was done. And I gotta say, I'm pretty stoked with this. I love quarter sawn. This is obviously a little rustic. The client wanted a little bit of knots and stuff like that. You know, he wanted that look. And so that's what we did. And I think it turned out pretty sick. And then the rest of the week, we kind of focused on some shop improvements. I bought this, I have a big compressor that I haven't hooked up yet. I've been running just my smaller compressor to run my edge bander. And finally got this airline and running air throughout the shop, doing drops for a coping sled, a pneumatic coping sled that I'll be getting for the shaper, and then I'm going to run air to the edge bander. I'm also planning on building a big clamping table with all these pneumatic clamps from Koros Tools. Rowdy was wiring up the compressor and doing some electrical stuff around the shop, which is great that he knows how to do it because I hate messing with electrical. And so this was a kit I got on Amazon, and it comes with the airline. It was like 200 feet of line. Comes with a bunch of fittings and stuff like that, so you can do drops. And so I got a drop coming down there, and that one will be for the coping sled. In these fittings, I forget what these fittings are called. It's basically got that, you cut it, and then you ream out the inside. It puts like a bevel on it, and then it puts like that split ring on it, and then it just goes onto this. So this is one of the T's for the drops. And, I mean, these things seem pretty legit. Hopefully they don't leak. I guess we'll find out when we put air in this on Monday or Tuesday. And so, yeah, I'm doing a pneumatic clamping wall for clamping up doors and face frames and stuff with Dino's stuff. If you guys aren't following Dino over at Koros Tools on Instagram, give him a follow. He has made some really cool stuff. He's got the vac pad and a bunch of other really cool things to be more efficient in the shop. So that's what I'm trying to do. I've been meaning to do this for a long time, and finally we had a little bit of time to do it. So we get it ran all the way over to the edge bander. This is over by the shaper again, and here you can see like where your drop comes down, it goes into this other fitting. And then I picked up some regulators. So I have a regulator right there, and I can adjust that for whatever PSI I need for the coping sled. And then my brother-in-law, he's been working with us on Fridays, and I had him build this cabinet, and the compressor is going to sit in there. I will probably line the inside of this with some like foam insulation or something just to help dampen the sound a little bit. And we do have filters. We put a filter on the top, and we put a filter in the door just so it's not, it's getting some ventilation and, pulling some clean air in there. And the other thing I've been meaning to do for a while is we built this platform for the joiner. That joiner, I really love this joiner. It's just very low to the ground. So I don't know if it's like meant to be on a mobile base or something like that, but we built a little 4-inch platform. And then Rowdy was doing electrical back there, and he had the joiner turned on an angle a little bit. And we were like, oh, this actually is way better because we had it kind of parallel with the table saw. So I think having it on that angle like that is going to be just going to be nicer. There's a little bit more room to move around. And so, yeah, we got the shop dialed in. It's cleaned up, ready to be worked in and get into these big jobs this week. Always nice to kind of do a reset and get everything, put back together.
All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's not my typical build video style, a little bit different, but not every week are we able to crank out a project. Some weeks are like this where we've just got to kind of grind out the little things and get a bunch of odds and ends done. Like I said, I had a bunch of meetings this week and stuff, so I was kind of bouncing in and out of the shop all week. And yeah, so that's just kind of how it goes. But I'm really excited because we are about to dive into some big projects with a lot of cool details and a lot of cool stuff that I'm going to share with you guys. So it'll be fun. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. The Patreon link is below. If you want to join Patreon, we do a weekly Zoom call every Friday, good group of guys, and we just kind of talk shop. So it's fun. And then I've got merch available down below as well on my website. So click the link. Order a hoodie, order a hat, something like that. It's a great way to support the channel, and I really appreciate it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you next week. Peace.